Let's chat about some of the new journaling projects I plan on starting in 2026 and the journals that I have chosen for those projects. Hey guys, I'm Tracy and I want to welcome you back to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. And yes, today's video is going to be a journal chat because I'm going to be chatting all about the new, emphasize the word new, journaling projects that I will be trying my hand at in 2026. And I'm also going to be going over the actual journals that I've already chosen for those projects. I'm going to share those journals with you guys and chat a little bit about how I plan on using those journals for those specific projects. With that said, because I said emphasize the word new, this is not my complete journal stack for the new year because I will be continuing several projects that I'm currently in the middle of. So that is the reason why I wanted to emphasize the word new, because this isn't all of the projects that I will be doing in 2026, but these probably are some of the larger projects that I will be doing, especially two of them. However, when I talk about current projects, I will be chatting about those in a separate video, likely closer to the end of the year. I will be doing probably an end of the year journal check-in where I'll evaluate how those journals are working, how those projects are going, and maybe even deciding whether or not to continue them, or maybe even pumping the brakes on some of them. Whether that's temporary or permanent, I don't know. So yeah, I'll chat about that in a completely separate video. So if you have yet to subscribe, I think that means that you should hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so that way you'll be notified when I release new content. All right, so with that all said, let's start talking about these projects and these journals. All right, so first up, I'm going to talk about the smallest journal of the bunch. This is an Archer and Olive subscription box exclusive. This came in the fall 2025 subscription box. This is the dual-sided notebook. So there are like three covers. They share a back cover is how there are three. So you have 112 black dot grid pages, and then you have 112 white dot grid pages. Super cute and compact. It's 6x6. I don't know if I said that. But this journal, as soon as I saw the subscription box, before I actually even went and purchased it, I already decided what I was going to use this journal for, and that has not changed. So if you saw the unboxing video, I have decided to stick with the idea that I initially had for this, and that is to be like a vision board journal. So I have to explain this a little bit. What I plan on doing when I talk about vision board is I'm going to have one side that is going to be exclusive to travel, and another side that's going to be for everything else. And the reason why I'm going to dedicate an entire side to travel is I just feel like it might be easier. And when I do a vision board related to travel, what I'm probably going to do is focus on destination by destination. So as I'm flipping through one of my travel magazines, or I'm surfing the internet or scrolling through Instagram and a travel destination catches my eye, I'll print out pictures or rip out the magazine page or what have you, put that in here, write a little bit about the destination, like the best time of the year to travel there, some of the things to see, some of the things to do, some of the places to eat, whatever. So not only is it kind of like, oh, this is a cool place to go, but it actually serves as more of maybe future reference. So I can flip through when I'm trying to plan my 2027, 2028 travels and be like, let me see about this place. This might be a good idea. With that said, there will probably be a few places that I add that are probably going to be far-fetched. I can't afford them, but I'm still going to put them in here because, that's what a vision board is about. It's putting anything that catches your eye that you might one day be able to go to. So yeah, if I find something that is Bora Bora, that might go in here too. I don't know. But let's chat about the other side, which is what I said is going to be everything else. So if I want to do any more home remodeling projects, then that might be a spread or two in here where I might put some photos that inspire me, maybe do a mood board or a color board or whatever about some colors that I'm thinking. Of course, I might do that come March, and then a couple of years from now, I might do something entirely different for the same room. That's fine. So yeah, that's an idea. Another thing is if I want to take on a new hobby or maybe learn something new, then I can do a fun creative vision board relating to that. The whole reason for that is to kind of provide inspiration to myself later on. Plus, I think it's really fun to do stuff like that. You will tell as I start talking about some of these things, I really just like being creative. So I like to find like new ways to be creative and express my creativity. And I really like to try to find ways to do that, like creativity with a purpose. So this is my creativity with a purpose, an entire journal. I guess you can almost say 2 journals in one, devoted strictly for like a vision board, future aspirations, and things of that nature. So I'm really excited about that. With that said, this is not something that I'm going to be like, ooh, I want to be in it every single week and do a new spread. No, this is going to be as inspiration hits or as I'm feeling the need to be creative, I will go into this journal and write about it. So I might be flipping through my travel magazine, find something that like intrigues me, and I'm like, I want to go here one day. I might go ahead and rip that page out, fold it up, put it in here, and then when I'm feeling creative, then I'll go in here and make the spread. So it is possible that by the end of February, I might have 2 spreads done in this entire journal. However, I might have 20. Who knows? With that said, I will probably be like taking photos of the finished products and posting them over on Instagram or something like that. I don't think it'll be really fun plan with me type videos. So I think there'll be more for like final flip throughs, maybe quarterly check-ins or mid-year check-ins, depending upon how many spreads I create. So you'll see it. You just won't see it very frequently on my channel. So the next journal we're going to be talking about is going to be a more personal journal, kind of almost like a journal. And when I talk about a journal, it's going to be a lot of heavy writing in there, you know, almost, I don't want to say touchy-feely, but definitely on the more personal side. That's how I refer to a journal, but I'm not going to title it that. I'm going to be titling this my journal of joy. Just saying that makes me smile. It already brings joy. So yeah, this is a Live Love Posh suede cover journal. I got this earlier in October. Super, super pretty. I knew I had to have it in my lineup as soon as I saw it. And when I got it, what I had originally thought I was going to use it for, and I still may, because it definitely fits in this theme that I'm talking about. I have currently started a journal that I call my affirmations journal. Basically what I do is I have like a deck of affirmation cards. I'll randomly pull a card and then I will write that affirmation in that journal. And then I will journal about how that affirmation applies to me or how it may apply to me if I start doing X, Y, or Z. So it's kind of a way for me to build like confidence in myself, but it's also a way to kind of look at things positively as well as optimistically. So those are like things that I'm really, really trying to improve on. And that has helped. I have not done it as consistent as I should to really say it's made some like life-changing moments. But I really like the direction it's going. I like the way I feel when I'm actually writing in it. So it's definitely something I really want to kind of prioritize in the new year, which is why I'm saying I might still move that in here. But when I'm thinking of Journal of Joy, see, I have to smile every time I say it. I'm thinking things, you know, kind of focusing on things that make me happy, maybe even any joyful moment, putting it in here and journaling about that. One of the things that I definitely think I am going to try, we have to see, I struggle with doing things on a daily basis, but I want to do monthly setups with a spread each month that's going to be almost like a line a day. I mean, it's going to be a line a day, but instead of just writing anything, I want to write specifically about things that brought me joy that day. And the reason why I want to do that is I think even on like hard days or difficult days or bad days, there usually is something in that day, if you look hard enough, that, you know, maybe put a smile on your face or brought joy or something of that nature. And I really want to dig deep to find that in every day. And that's why I want to write it in here. But then I'm going to also journal about like the bigger things that brought me joy that might require more than a line and things of that nature. Just in case you haven't seen this journal, it does have gilded edges. It has gorgeous front pages on here. Look at that. So pretty. So pretty. Now, even though this journal sounds like it's going to be really text heavy and I'm just going to come in here and just write with pen, That's not how I operate. It's not. I've already created a few spreads because I am on the Live Love Posh PR team, and I got this journal and some stickers, and I wanted to kind of share ways to use it. So I did that spread, and I did Dutch doors. Yes, it has gilded pages, and yes, I did Dutch doors. But I think I definitely want to be creative in here because playing with stickers and playing with stamps and decorating my journals and planners also bring me joy. So I kind of want to bring that creativity to this journal as well. With that said, the creativity part is not the priority of this journal. The priority of this is to focusing on the happiness and the joy and the self-improvement and things like that. But you know, if I want to be creative, then I'll be doing that as well. The reason why I bring that up is because if I do share this on my channel, it will probably be the setting up of the spreads and me chatting about things that I plan on doing in the journal throughout the month. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able or if I'm going to want to like share the after the pen, just because at this moment, I'm not sure how personal it's going to get. It might be all fluffy, fun stuff that I don't mind sharing on the internet. So I might do a flip through in those cases. But, and you know, there might be times that, you know, I share or I write a little bit more personal stuff and I might not want to share that. So this will probably be featured more for like creative setup type purposes rather than after the pen. But I'm really excited about that. I think it's a good idea. If you guys have any ideas about any other like things I can do throughout the month to add to my journal of joy, definitely let me know down in the comment section because I am looking for ideas. This is a newer idea because the journal itself I just got in the middle of October. So I'm still brainstorming ideas. So anything that you can suggest is greatly appreciated. Now let's start talking about my priority projects and probably the projects that are going to take a little bit more time, a little bit more effort. And these are the ones I am definitely going to be penciling time in each and every week in my planners to actually do the projects. The first thing I'm going to chat about is this guy, which is not an actual journal at all. It's actually a planner. And because it's a planner, there's an actual there's a lot of pages that you guys might want to see in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera angle. I'm going to do a top down overview, and we're going to flip through this and chat about how I plan on using it. So let me introduce you to my memory keeper. Yes, I will be using my Hemlock and Oak 2025 horizontal planner as my memory keeper. I got this on clearance, so I don't care that it's outdated. I have plenty of stickers that I can use to redate this. But yes, when I saw this layout, I thought it was perfect for memory keeping. One, because we have the days of the week here, so I can still divide things between the days of the week just to make it easy for journaling and things like that. But two, I also have this blank page over here where I can do a whole bunch of stuff. And three, it's not an overwhelming amount of space. As someone who is new to memory keeping everyday life, you know, a lot of space can be intimidating. And I needed a little bit of structure too. I think just a blank notebook might have been a little too much for me. So I like the little bit of structure. Even if I ignore some of the structure, I do like the fact that it's there. I think it's going to make it a little less intimidating and make it a little easier for me to realize that I don't have to write a lot about each day. I only have to write a sentence, maybe even a word. Who knows? Like one day it might just say blah. I don't know. But I am going to take this a little bit further than just regular memory keeping. And I'm going to be doing it like Project Lifestyle, or I'm going to be borrowing a lot from Project Life, which if you don't know about Project Life, a lot of people do Project Life in the binder system with the photo pages where you could put photos, ephemera, journaling cards, and things like that in those pocket pages that you keep inside of your journal. And then you kind of use other inserts along the way. Obviously, doing this is going to look a lot different. I just didn't want to go the binder route because I don't have any of those supplies, and I just didn't really want to invest in a whole bunch of different supplies for a project that I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work out. I hope this works out, but I might actually enjoy doing something in this size of a notebook versus something like a binder system. So yeah, the concept behind Project Life is to journal about your everyday things and not just focus on those big events like the vacations, the concerts, the birthdays, the anniversaries, and things like that. To just, you know, journal about you know, the work day, you went on a walk today, who you had dinner with, you know, writing down those little memories that they are memories. They might seem little, but 5 years from now, they may seem pretty big. So I'm trying to get into that habit. Project Life also is really big on photos, which is why people use the photo pockets or the pocket, I don't know what we want to call it, the pocket pages. I do plan on taking a lot more photos and putting them in my journal. So this is going to be something new for me, but I think it's going to be something fun. I've decided that I am going to actually set time aside during my week. I'm going to pencil it in my planner, Project Life. So that way I will sit down, have a designated time to work on my spread. It will also let me know that I need to have my photos printed or my photos ordered before that time, so that way I can sit down and actually complete the spread. So yeah, it's something that I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be fun. With that said, because this is a new concept for me and I'm going to be trying to figure out how best to utilize these pages, I think what I end up doing come like beginning of January may be completely different from what I do by the end of February. I think things are going to be like changing until I find a like format or formula that I really gel with. I think it's gonna be a lot of trial and error and just kind of figuring out what I want to include, and then of course how to actually put it on the page. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to use any of the other pages. So I may not do very much early on. I might kind of just hold off and see what I may want to do with them and then go on from there. So like January, I might not do anything with the extra pages. When I say extra pages, I mean the monthly calendar. There are also pages in between each week. So you have a review page that's intended for the month prior and an overview that's intended for the upcoming month. I am not going to use these as intended. I may even create a cover page here. I mean, this is pretty much blank. I could cover this with sticker paper or something like that, just to make something fun. I could do bucket list or something of that nature. For this page, I could actually use it for the previous month and do like a currently page setup. I think the way this is set up could work pretty well for that. I could hide all of the headers and just keep it as is, everything else as is. So that is a possibility. There are also quite a few pages at the beginning here. You can see, look. Fancy monthly cover page, bucket list. See, I've already started thinking about this. Haven't thought of anything additional, but so you have like goals pages, habits pages, calendars. Obviously, I don't need these as they are intended, because this is more of a memory keeping journal and not my everyday planner. So these may be repurposed. They may be ignored, or they may be removed. Now, as far as the removing them, I will not do that until well into 2026. I mean, like more than the halfway point, because you never know when you're going to want to decide to like repurpose this. And I don't want to remove it and then wish it was there, because it's really easy to slap a like label sticker page over here and then use it for something else. So I think for the most part, I'm just going to leave these as is. For the time being, maybe I'll repurpose a few at the beginning of the year if something comes to mind that I can do here. Maybe I want to do a fun title page. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. Yes, I thought about my projects, but that's about as far as I thought. But yeah, there are a lot of pages that I can play around with. I don't think, there are some pages in the back as well. There's only a few that are blank, but then you have your year-end review pages. So there are a few back here that I can play around with as well. But yeah, so this is going to be my Project Life journal, or just memory keeper. Basically, to me, they're going to be the same thing. I just like calling it Project Life for some reason. So that's probably what I'm going to be referring to it as. I will be filming probably the process videos for you guys, at least one of them a month, unless it's something that you guys really enjoy, and then maybe I'll do a couple. But when I talk about the process photos, it will be me actually sitting down and doing an entire weekly spread with the photos, the journaling, any type of junk journaling that I decide to add to this or whatever. So I will bring you along for that as well. So that is that one. Now let's get back and chat about my fourth and final journal and creative project. Finally, I'm going to talk about this journal, which is the largest one in my little short journal stack. This is a B5 Archer and Olive. I think it's super pretty, Super pretty. It's 160 pages in here. And this journal does not have a fun title yet. I don't think anything is going to top my Journal of Joy. So I really need a title for this. So I'm going to ask you guys to help me out with this as well. But I guess I need to chat about what I'm going to be using it for. So this is going to hold monthly projects. I have to explain because that doesn't tell you anything. So when I think of monthly projects, or when I think of projects, I'm thinking more of those creative projects. And there are a lot of projects out there on the internet. People do them on Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, what have you. I am talking about the October daily. I am talking about the December daily. I'm talking about week in the life. Plus there are other types of projects. There's like me, myself, and I don't know because I'm drawing a blank, but I have so many ideas that I have brainstormed, but it's late in the day and they have all slipped my mind. However, it doesn't matter because I will be filming a completely separate video probably in December featuring this journal. I will likely do a title page setup. That's why I need a title. And then at that time, I'll like share all of the ideas that I have come up with as far as monthly projects. And then if you guys have any other suggestions, definitely let me know now. You can also let me know then because I want a different project each and every month. Of course, if there's one that's really, really good and I really, really enjoy it, I might replicate it at some point later on in the year. But I do want to try to do different projects each month. They're going to be different like size projects too. So like when I said October daily, realistically, I probably will not do something daily. I probably would do more of like October almost daily or something like that. But that still would be a pretty big project. It might take like 15 pages, 20 pages out of this book to complete that project, just depending upon how creative or how much time I have that month. But I'm also probably going to do a few smaller projects that might only require 2 or 4 pages for the entire month. I might be able to sit down on a Saturday, spend 2 hours in this book and completely finish that like project for the entire month. So it's not like some of the projects might be month-long projects. Some of them might just be something that I can do one day during the month or 2 days during the month. So yeah, that's how this is going to go. I do want to kind of have an idea or a game plan about what projects I want to do each month, but I'm not going to have those set in stone because this is something that I'm really committed to and I really want to stick with because I think it is something that'll be really cool to look back on, like even, 2027, but especially years down the road. I think it'll be really fun to look back at this, especially if it's something I end up like repeating in future years. It'll be kind of cool to see how they all look different, but that's like, that's a like later story. But what I'm getting at is I don't want to like set the topics in stone because if March rolls around and I have a pretty big project, whether it's big as in it's going to require me to do things multiple times a month, or it's just something that's going to require a lot of creativity. And March rolls around and I'm either not feeling creative or I look at my calendar and it is just full of all kinds of like things that are not fun related, then I might have to take a step back and switch gears and do a project that doesn't require as much time or as much creativity. So things are going to be subject to change. Like I said, because this is something that I'm committed to, I want to make sure it's something I can stick with. So that's the reason why I want to have a game plan, but that game plan I could send in a pinch hitter at any time to kind of change the topic. So when I brainstorm, I'll brainstorm the 12 top topics that I want to do, but then I'll have some off to the side that can tap in at any point that's needed just based on how I'm feeling or what my schedule looks like. So that's kind of the gist of this. At first I thought, like monthly memories or something like that, but I don't think it's going to be all memory keeping related. I guess when you look back, it kind of is. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Like I said, definitely help me out if you have any ideas. But I think this is going to be a really fun project. And if you guys want to do this with me, then I think it would be fun because I definitely plan on featuring this on my channel probably a couple of times a month. Obviously during like the monthly setup, because I think that will give me the opportunity to kind of chat about what I plan on doing that month as far as like the structure of the pages or how I plan on like doing that project, taking on the project, you know, if I'm going to do it like scrapbooking style or just plain pen and paper, stamps or what have you. So yeah, I'll do like a beginning of the month kind of setup, and then I'll probably do another one at some point during that month of actually doing some of the actual pages. So yeah, this is one that I'm definitely planning on having on my channel. So this will be a fun project that, you know, some of you may be doing. You might want to do the same themes I do, or you might want to do different themes, but I think it could be super, super fun. And that's why I said I'm definitely going to have its own video in December chatting about this one a little bit more. So there we go, guys. That's it. It wasn't too bad because it's only 4 new projects, but 4 new projects is kind of a lot, at least for me, especially those 2 big memory keeping projects, because I'm just not the best at doing something every day when it comes to journaling. I don't know why. I really plan on like December playing around in some of my other journals to try to do things daily, to try to start that habit a little bit early. But these are something that, like I said, I'm so like, I plan on prioritizing these so much that I hope that I can stick with them throughout the year. And this journal in particular, if I stick with it at least through half of the year, this one actually may fill up. And if it does, I'll like use that one for the second half of the year. I feel like they complement each other pretty well. Basically, this has leaves and that has leaves. So I was like, they complement each other. So I'm ready to go for journal number 2 if that one fills up. And fingers crossed it does. That will be so exciting for me. The only journal that I've ever had that has filled up is my reading journals. That's the only one, which I do have a reading journal as well. I've already started setting that up, guys. And I will have that setup video probably out in a few days. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some ideas or something, maybe just kind of gave you some kind of creative inspiration to think of some other ideas. So yeah, that is my plan when I film these videos. And like I said, I really do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please press that like button. And if you have yet to subscribe, I really hope you would consider hitting that subscribe button while you're at it. That is all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.